It's that time of the day once again. The crab video game hour. Today, we're playing Cluster Launcher. I don't know how I feel about Cluster Launcher. I guess if you really break it down, it's probably just a weird auto shotgun, right? I think it's fine. I think it's good. We're playing with this bad boy. Maybe some black hole action? It did get buffed. It would make sense. Let's do hammer with that, because that's cool AoE. And what kind of skin are we gonna play? Gotta like make new skins or find them. Dude, I love this celestial skin. Not only because I'm a PoE fan, but it is just a very cool skin. Very well made. This one too, because I'm also a Dark Souls fan. And this one. Do this one. Yeah, alright. It's been a while since I've done this one actually. Alright, Key Totem. Air package. Eh. It's boring. It's also boring, but it's very good. It's a really great start. I want to find something cool. A lot of good starts. I just want, like, I actually don't know what I would want. Cluster launcher is just kind of weird to build. I guess like some sort of on-hit thing. I think that's just best. I kind of want to do like maybe a weapon damage build of some sort. Like if I could get the glue shot aura shot combo, I think that could be really fun. I have done a an orbiting shot build before. Let's do spiral because chaotic is just a little too squirrely. Seems fine. I have done scavenger an orbiting shot build before. Granted, that was in True Nightmare with some friends, so like it was just kind of wacky in general, but it ended up being quite good. I think I will. I think I'm actually gonna do the parkour. I really want this for the money, but with hammer, like I just don't really expect to get. Or maybe I do. Let's try it out. Let's experiment a little bit. Because if I can do some good stacking, and hit with one big hammer slam, I should be able to kill stuff easily. Like that. Question is that worth it? More? Yeah. I think so. I got like 300 out of that island. I think that's good. I don't know. Oh, damn it, man. Red crystals. Yo, is this the pumpkin shot run with cluster launcher? That sounds really bad. Oh no, I would have to like lean really heavily into attack speed. I mean, out of these options, it seems like it might make the most sense. What are we looking at here? 8%? It hasn't procced once. I'll give it a go, but I don't expect this to go anywhere. This is probably gonna get salvaged. I think I'll do the luck chest, because I think on cluster launcher, I'll probably want to the things that I'm going to want are probably going to be more epics than anything else. I just don't know what that is yet. Probably a lot of formation mod changing. If I could find an aura shot, that'd be great. Even just a standalone aura shot on cluster launcher can work decently well. Don't necessarily need glue shot. And if I do actually commit to that pumpkin shot, okay, then I'm going to need a shit ton of attack speed, so I will need supercharged. Yeah, this just makes sense. It's gonna suck when I don't get the streamer loot. I have to go with like driller instead. I don't see barrage skulls enough to know how to deal with them. Streamer loot, please. Oh, I called it. That sucks. Maybe just the efficiency. Yeah, let's try that out. Oh, that's also really tempting. This is a knives out. Oh, shit. I'm gonna throw it. Throw this run right here. Big thing is using my my black hole for the important enemies because it hits multiple times. Looks like this is it. Okay. Good. I don't remember if Chance Totem can kill me, so I don't want to hit the Chance Totem. I might do that random though. I might just random out the pumpkin shot. Click on this. Nice. Okay, cool. Could also randomize these relics. That'd be kind of funny. I actually kind of want to. It's for that first one. I'm gonna hold on to these because I think my choice there depends on what I get out of my randomize here. That's hilarious. Alright. Doing a piercing wave run. Piercing wave fire run? Because the randomize has dictated it so. So in that case, I think I'll do blacksmith amulet and then do this anvil as much as I want to do the double luck so that I can try to get a flaming on my piercing wave. Piercing wave is still not like spectacular on cluster launcher. I just don't think it necessarily has the base attack speed to really excel with on fire mods. And the proc rate's not like super stellar either. Like a lot of the proc rate comes from being able to hit things multiple times, so on hits generally are more favorable. But with all that said, it isn't impossible to get around it with just some attack speed investments, and I do have the dice shots, which will actually go quite a ways for enabling that. So I think this could work. Got the flaming too. All right, we're doing another fire run. Kind of okay with that. This at least seems like a really interesting way to do a fire run. If my sole source of fire is the piercing wave. Heavy hitter, that's probably gonna get sold in a second here. Because we want attack speed. I'll take a driller now, I guess, just because it's here and it's free. I'm kind of tempted to take the vitality. I almost said something else, but I don't. I am only thinking about it because I have the armor, but I don't necessarily have the healing, so I will take this mango. I don't really care much for another scavenger, but it would probably go a long ways if I do start taking more damage, so yeah, I guess I'll grab. Should be able to grab one more thing here. Personal space would be very good. We'll get rid of the ring of healing. I have a slot, right? Yeah. Yep. There is my max HP source, and that's actually a really good max HP source because I have black hole, so it's going to be really easy for me to stack things up to farm it. Always check for the totems in the back corner on this island. There have been like a lot of new totem spots, so they've been kind of catching me off guard here and there. Yes, the fire. What if we get like a fire explosion with our black hole? That'd be cool, right? Nice. Might incorporate, I don't want to get firework shot because I kind of want to commit to this piercing wave. I guess I'll take health shot since I don't have any other form of consistent healing, and I don't think a collector right now will go very far, even though like just grabbing a collector in general is pretty okay. I should have checked this first to see if I got another health shot. That way I could have had both. I don't think my econ is enough. I don't have any econ really to get this mango. Didn't I hit an econ island? or to get the valued customer. So I shall take the mango instead, and maybe we'll just do a little bit of personal space mango action, huh? Okay, well, if you say so. I do appreciate that I actually got answers about my input overlay question. Only because that means that people are actually watching that much of the video. Do I have like a viewer base that I can get with? Am I a content creator? It was about what I expected. Yeah, I've watched my own videos, right? And it doesn't get in the way, like it's not really noticeable. So I guess nice. I guess there's no reason not to just keep it around. It gives me some professionalism, right? I don't have any other stupid streamer assets on screen, so makes me cool. I'm actually kind of tempted to do this skill chest because recently I've just had such an easy time finding like coral amulets and portal rings from skill chests, and it's like those really just enable the run to kick into gear. I didn't get the streamer loot that I wanted, but I also forgot I had a driller. I should probably do that. Let's give this a go. This will decide if I ever take skill chests again, because I think they're the weakest chests by far. I gotta turn around and get those crystals. I was gonna shoot off, but getting the crystals from the slug is probably a good idea. We'll do some stacking here, dodge some slugs by mistake, throw down a black hole. Yes, personal space value. Tell your friends, it's the best perk. Whoops. Okay, alright, I'm never doing these again. I guess bigger boom's cool for black hole. I'm about to do another one. No, it's armored. Fine. I see. Well, this is okay. That barrel skull's probably just gonna jump into the abyss anyway. Uh-oh. Oh! Good, we're good. I wanted to do that anyway, so I could get these rocks. That's what we call calculated plays. Crystal combo could do hot steam too. I think I'd rather have the crystal combo. I don't know. I don't have to be like in a really specific mood to do hot steam, because usually when I do a fire build, I'm kind of more inclined to just like, let's see how much fire I can put on stuff, and that's just more fun. Maybe it's just because hot steam builds are like secretly the best build in the game, and it kind of trivializes it once you get going. Lightning is actually kind of tempting here. I do have health shot. I'm not really taking damage. I could drop mangoes. This is actually kind of tough. So I was thinking like, okay, if I'm gonna do flaming, it does kind of lead me to... I need a little bit more consistent AoE, because right now it's really just like this weird cone in front of me, and then occasionally the ground blows up. Oh, that's interesting. It procs after the clusters explode. Anyway, yeah, so it made me think like, ah, man, lightning would be really nice. I am about to go into a double econ, so maybe I don't necessarily need the gold coating. Let's say this. I'm going to take the lightning because I think getting some lightning in this build will go a long way. And then I'll do this double econ, and if I get a gold coating out of this double econ chest, then I'll do the gold coating shenanigans. Since I have actually like quite a bit of mango, and I do have health shot and scavenger, and I have consistent armor, so I'm not really like in danger if I cut my health in half every island. So it just kind of all around works. I may have just convinced myself I should have taken that gold coating. I forgot that I had personal space, but I don't know if I really would have done it on this island anyway. because of the shrapnel, of course. There's another paycheck. That sounds good. Money shots. I don't know if it's good, but I do know that the multi-hit weapons tend to fare very well with money shot and health shot for that matter. I'm gonna take this one a little easy because speedy armored sniper crabs sounds like it could be a problem, or it would be a problem if they could actually hit me. Someone did throw out the recommendation of doing a like a heart rate monitor rather than the input, and I thought that was a really neat idea. I don't know how it set it up, but also, you know, it's bold to assume that I feel anything anymore playing. I don't know how I would set that up. I guess I would need like some sort of peripheral to actually connect to like a mod, right? I'll take the Ring of Vigor here. Yeah, that'll be really nice for further scaling. I'll take the health shot just because, again, like the scavenger isn't going to be the most reliable healing, and like a level 2 health shot this early, like kind of... God, okay. It kind of like settles me into my healing for at least like this first 28 islands. But also nice. If I do find a gold coating, I probably will take it because I'm starting to grow to the idea. This also could be a really good vitality angle. The real question is, do I take this fortitude as well? I actually think I don't need to. I have so much health coming in, and it just eats up a slot. And I can just kind of focus more on personal space, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip it. Explosive armor is tempting. There's my streamer loot, as well as a bubble shot. Do I get this for a little bit of extra single target, and then throw on like a flaming on it? I think so. Sounds kind of fun. I'd probably have to get rid of the bigger boom. I'd also lose out on streamer loot and vitality, which sucks, but I think this would be cool. This is kind of like a classic build of some sort. Like, bubble shot? Holy shit. Bubble shot, once upon a time was just the mod. Like, once you get bubble shot, things just die, and that's all there is to it. It's since been nerfed and seen other adjustments and whatnots, and it's a good spot now. I think Piercing Wave also had a brief phase where that was the case, but I think that was before my time. Our shot. So sorry, Pumpkin Shot. I know that you wanted to be part of the crew, but next time, promise. I'm honestly kind of tempted to... I really should try to find like a power armor or a damage combo. Let's just grab it because I'm still not convinced I need health right now. Oh, I do have Driller. Okay, so this is precisely what I was talking about in my minigun run the other day. Like, I am now forced to run around and kill cacti. Not forced, but it is in my best interest to run around and kill cacti. But like, I don't have much weapon damage with this build. Most of my damage comes from fire and like the piercing wave proc. So killing these cacti take forever, and enemies just kind of like instantly die. It's actually kind of hard to kill all cacti while also making sure enemies live long enough so that you can kill cacti. And it just kind of makes for a tedious experience more than anything, so ultimately like my decision to do a driller build or a streamer loop build kind of comes down to how easily can I break cacti bouncing shots? I mean, it's their choice here. I don't know how much I care for bouncing shot on cluster launcher, especially because that fire strike is actually a good portion of my burst damage right now, and like it'll... I don't know, we'll try it out, but I might end up getting rid of that. Anvil time, let's go. I think we're looking for a flaming on our bubble shot next. We can really juice the fire. Yeah, there's probably a few things that I would take. If it's not flaming, then I'll probably lean into buffing the piercing wave more, because I think we're a bit more of a piercing wave build at the moment. See, like that island in particular, Horde islands are where it's really problematic, because like I have limited time, so I either have to decide if I'm going to shoot cacti for the whole island or shoot enemies for the whole island, and you know, usually I want to shoot enemies. I could put electrifying on the piercing wave. Sticky on the bubble shot's tempting too. I think I'll make this like a weird fire lightning sort of run. Sounds fun, and it'll at least give it some identity against the fire run that I did the other day. I think that was actually the minigun run as well, right? Like I did Time Bolt's Thorn Shot. Yeah. I think this is going to be cool. Awesome. Elite Islands, however, are a good contestant for me running around and killing cacti, because there's probably no chance that it's going to accidentally die. Dude, yeah, I have to put in like a full clip into that. You know what? I haven't confirmed this yet, but I do wonder if the Elite Hornet statues can also proc Driller. I would assume that they cannot, as that would be reasonable. But it'd be funny as hell if they could. Nobody knew. I think I'd rather take the Lightning Aura, because I think my my fire application is probably in a solid spot. We're gonna have to kind of like juggle between the two, methinks. That double damage is really tempting too. Like, there's honestly a really solid argument that that double damage was a better choice than this Anvil Island, because I do need some sort of global damage. I haven't really found something solid yet, I don't think, besides like Vitality. Oh, let's make sure to grab that before the island ends. But I want to... Anvils are just a fun choice, honestly. What is this for, if not to have fun? Ooh. Piercing Wave? Cricket? Accelerating Piercing Wave is actually pretty tempting. It does make it go further, and it's faster, so it's kind of a better single target option, but I also kind of like it as it is, because it gives me some conal AoE action, which is kind of like what Piercing Wave is for. Sometimes when I'm thinking about, like, okay, what does this mod do, and why am I playing around it? And like, especially with enhancements now, because you can kind of change up how things work. I do like to think about like, okay, well, if I'm doing a Piercing Wave build, then I'm going to play around what Piercing Wave is actually good for, which is like more scoped AoE option. I think a really good example of this phenomenon is Sharpened Axe and getting homing on Sharpened Axe. You would think that like, oh, homing is a legendary enhancement, like it's gonna be automatically the best thing ever on any mod that you get, especially because homing in this game is just like good in general, right? You can just hold down left click. But I would argue that homing on Sharpened Axe specifically kills the reason why you want Sharpened Axe, because it makes all three of those saw blade projectiles just kind of coalesce and home in on one target, which can be cool if that's what you want it to do, if you want it to be like more of a single target thing. But I know that like when I'm running Sharpened Axe, I'm very much always thinking about like, how do I get this thing to just spread across a map so that I can clear waves like instantly, and homing like specifically hurts that. So yeah, I don't know if that means that I want accelerating on this Piercing Wave. There's not really better options. We could continue this build into some sort of weird elemental expert build. I don't really know how I feel about that. I think what I'll do is actually put orbiting on the bubble shot, because that'll just make the bubbles sort of like orbit around the place they spawn, and they just generally hit stuff anyway. So it's just like a damage bonus. It's not going to harm it too much. I do think I should go to the speed chest to get some attack speed, but much like the previous island selection, I am opting to pick the fun choice. Because I like enhancements. I think they're cool and neat and fun. And a big attractiveness of the game right now is coming up with all sorts of wacky builds because of enhancements. You know, wacky builds like put fire and lightning on everything, which is distinctly different from my previous build, which was put fire and poison on everything. That's what we call build identity in the biz. Be sure to subscribe to my podcast for more roguelike tips. Okay, so growing is actually a pretty fun option for piercing wave as well, but I think I want to do the doubling. I want to see what this looks like. Oh yeah. It actually like... I don't think I know how piercing wave works. This actually kind of makes sense. I was noticing this with the flaming and electrifying too. It almost seems like piercing wave is actually not one big wave. It is like 5 wave-like projectiles that are horizontally stacked next to each other. And I saw this when I got the flaming and electrifying, because some of those wave projectiles were different colors, sort of implying that they procced separately. And now that I see doubling, I think it's clear that like some of those projectiles are proccing the doubling and splitting off, and some of them are kind of not, so it's creating more of like a shotgun effect, which is cool. Like I think it's kind of ultimately good. Again, this is a great example of like, I picked piercing wave because I want to like blow up any groups of enemies in front of me. That just sort of lets me do that. Can you give me an item? That would be a great time to get that gold coating video game. I would also accept a Grim Reaper. Thank you. Bomb explosion. Yo, I'm actually tempted. Alright, so I think we're definitely taking the mango. The health shot is the dubious one. If we want to try to swing this bomb explosion, it would work really well with the black hole. It's a little... It splits us, or it takes us away from our piercing wave and bubble shot a little bit, at least when it comes to enhancements, and the only way that that bomb shot is actually going to like really be cool is if I enhance it, so yeah, probably not today. Someday though. I'm always down for some bomb shot action. I think I will take the valued customer here, because it does feel like I have a decent amount of econ, especially because of this paycheck that I'm about to pick up, and I think I probably will pick up that lightning aura, but I want an arc shot. I'm gonna get rid of the bouncing shot because I didn't really like that to begin with. Okay, that's cool. Pick up another lightning aura, and boom, yeah, that worked out pretty well. I want to hit that chance totem so bad. Maybe just one more. This is gonna be it, right? Like, it's a 25% chance. Chances are that this individual hit, this totem, is going to give me an item because I've already hit it like 20 times. See? Like, it's just statistics. The more often you do something, the more likely that that thing is going to happen. So you just keep doing it until it happens. Because it will eventually. Oh, wow, that was sick. I don't think that a piercing wave is getting far enough. So now I'm thinking about that accelerating and how that would probably help. Especially because, you know, I think maybe the point of the piercing wave currently is not necessarily to do damage as much as it is to apply my flaming and electrifying in a cleave force. Format? Huh. Health as power would actually make a lot of sense. I have a lot of health coming in. Triple shot would also make sense. but I just don't think that's really the build that I'm going for right now. I think like if you were to if I were to say there were any standard cluster launcher builds, I would say it's like get as many formation mods as you can and just like spew out these clusters. And then from there you can either go into like weapon damage and maybe extend into like an aura shot, glue shot sort of build. Or you can do what I like to call and have colloquially heard the fruity pebbles build. You just get a bunch of elements like poison, lightning, fire, or whatever, and just spew out like rainbow pebbles and everything. Tends to work pretty well. Let's grab the armor here because I still don't really want to do the fortitude, even though that is the second fortitude that I have found. Cool. And if that would be a level 2 fortitude, it'd probably be worth it. Uh-oh, my lightning arm is too strong. I think an all-you-can-eat would actually be my future. I don't think I'm necessarily hitting things with projectiles consistently enough to leverage the efficiency. I think I need something else. Alternatively, I could try hitting stuff. Ooh, oh, that was close. I'm gonna kill enemies for a second here. This is just like something that I like to do. I don't necessarily know if it's really worth doing, but in my head, like, it's easy to look at a demolition island as like a free island. Like, oh, all you need to do is run around and kill the nests, and if you do enough damage, you can do that in like 5 seconds. But like there's a concept in a lot of roguelikes that is just like tempo. Card games too, right? I think tempo is totally a thing that exists in Crab Champions, and very often you want to be sure to keep your tempo in mind. And a good example of that is like crystals from islands. If you decide to take an option that results in you not getting crystals for an island, parkour is another really good example of this. You know, a parkour island is a free epic, and sometimes that is the right decision to make, but sometimes that might not be the right decision. Sometimes you might need to keep up your income, and getting some random epic isn't going to be worth the amount of money that you would lose from getting an island. So anyway, bringing it back to the point, on demolition islands, unless it's like a flawless and I have some sort of incentive to try to finish it as quickly as possible, I think it's still worth like taking your time and killing stuff just to get crystals. And if anything, it can actually result in a lot of crystals because you can sort of intentionally farm enemies coming from the nests as you just like kind of chip at the nests here and there. I think we're gonna put flaming on the bubble shot. That makes sense. And yeah, I think it's time for us to try to fish for an all-you-can-eat. It's perfect timing. Let's kill that pumpkin. I don't want to deal with it. Oh, this is actually kind of a spicy island, isn't it? I don't remember if I mentioned it in one of my recent... I'm pretty sure I mentioned this at some point, but fire did get buffed. There was that... I had the flamethrower run recently where I rambled on and on about fire's viability in the game at the moment and how it's kind of always been underrated in my opinion, only slightly underrated. But there have been recent buffs. The like fall off cap. That's tempting. Targeting shot would make a lot of sense because it plays into the bubble shot thing we've got going on. Also, I do have dice shot. I just convinced myself. All you can eat. It's fine too. Yeah, fire got buffed recently. The point in which stacks start to fall off much faster was increased from 100 to 250, and the rate that stacks fall off was reduced by like 50%, I want to say. So it's a lot more reasonable to have a fire build, and it seems like a nice sweet spot for like, oh, if I'm going to get some incidental fire damage in my build but not commit to it, it's not going to like destroy everything. I kind of want to do this econ, but I feel like the elemental probably makes more sense. Especially for an XL. Wow, it sure would suck if I did this XL shrapnel landmine rain and just threw the run, right? Especially on a, especially if I were to get like an island that has really tight spaces to fight in which I would be forced to choose between going for crystals or risking shrapnel and landmine damage. And if there were like a lot of slugs on that island too, just increasing the danger of being in a tight location like that, that would be problematic as well and might spell my doom. Worse yet, if it just for some reason had a shit ton of poison ants, since, you know, volcano biome doesn't typically have a lot of poison in it. But it just so happened that in this perfect storm scenario that I'm creating in my head, that there would just be like a lot of poison. So if you did get hit by a bunch of poison, all of those explosives would hit you once and kill you instantly. Alright, more crystal combo. Oh, I do have a crystal combo. Oh. Yeah, let's lean into that because I have a lot of armor coming in, so I think it'll be easy enough to keep up. I think that money shot's actually doing pretty well. 1598 versus... Yeah, it's like catching up to a level 4 paycheck. That's insane. Let's keep pumping that. That sounds great. We'll go for elemental here. One thing I am missing is like a solid fire shot or a lightning shot, so cool to grab one of those. If I were to choose, I'd probably rather do a lightning shot, just because I think it sort of better suits the small moments of AoE application that the cluster launcher has. I think a fire shot would be fine too, just because I can tighten my spread and like focused fire something, so I can apply a lot of fire to one thing really quickly as well. I just think I kind of already do that pretty well with the bubble shot and the piercing wave for that matter. Although I guess with that said, those are my only sources of fire, so... And I have plenty of sources of lightning, so I don't know, I'll probably just pick whatever it gives me. Do that elemental expert thing I was talking about. I'm gonna take the fire starter, just because I do have those reliable sources of fire applications, so just making those do more seems like a good idea. Okay, valued customer, definitely start off with that, get another vitality, X shots. One thing I haven't really been keeping in mind, but I should be, is that I have dice shots, so like formation mods are going to go a lot further. Like that arc shot's at 40% already. Piercing wave, hell yeah, let's go. I feel like my healing has been just fine. I have a level 3 health shot. I think I'm good. I don't think I need more. Okay, game, like seriously, I good. Relax. I'll always take more money shot though. And probably good without that. There might actually be a universe where I get rid of the Grim Reaper and just lean really heavily into the health shot, but I think there's also a universe where I just kind of don't take damage. Let's grab some triple shots. I'm gonna drop the Big Mag and just see how many I can buy. That was exactly on the dot to pull me down to 0. That is so funny. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of Big Mag. I'll be fine with it. Wow. What a wild run. I do have like a weird tech trick, I guess. If anyone's interested. I'm gonna kill this King's Gold because it involves the launch pad. I don't know if anyone else has figured this out, but if you actually do like a real proper hammer onto a jump pad, not like that, it will like shoot you at a very horizontal velocity. Like this. Versus like if you normally were to hit a jump pad, you'd have a lot more of a vertical velocity. Not too much more, I suppose. But if you do like a dash in the middle of this too, you can even like kind of pivot in a weird way, or at least like turn in a weird way. I don't use it very often on this island, but I use it a lot on the other boss islands where it's just like the standard one with the jump pad. Yeah, that's more like what I'm talking about. Like a very horizontal movement. Sometimes on those other jump pads, I can actually manage to like go forward and then like do almost a 90-degree angle turn. Very interesting. I don't know what's different about the jump pads, or if they're actually like specifically coded different based on the island. Not like the most like broken thing. Um, there's not a ton of use cases where that would actually like save you or anything, but it's cool and sometimes it could be useful. I didn't really think about what I would get from this legendary chest, but I got pretty much every good elemental perk that I would want in this situation, so this is gonna be a hard pick. So it's very clearly gonna be one of the elemental options. We could probably start by breaking down, like, do I want one of the weapon mods versus one of the perks? And the perks are basically just like more AoE, right? So kind of comes down to how's my single target feel versus my AoE. How does my lightning application feel versus my fire application? That's another question. They both feel fine, truthfully. I kind of feel like I would probably want the electric enemies for flammable enemies, just because I think these are generally stronger items than Firestorm or Lightning Strike. And in fact, like, electric enemies is kind of ridiculous. They're both kind of ridiculous. They're both really good. If I got the flammable enemies, everything would die. If I got the electric enemies, they would die, but I would still have to like interact with them in order for them to die. So I guess let's just do the flammable enemies. I think that is quite likely to just carry me with how much fire starter I have as well. Oh, hello. Some global damage. That'll be nice. At this point, I don't know if I really care about getting Driller. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Getting Driller values, so like I'm not gonna break rocks, most likely. More power armor sounds good though. This is where I try to get more speed, or some attack speed? No, this is where I continue to juice the hell out of this weird piercing wave I've got going on. Another health shot sounds groovy. Hello. Tripling? Hell yeah. Look at it go. Yeah. That looks so cool. Let's see the skill chest to try to get an all-you-can-eat. I've been having some good ammo ring luck, too. That relic chest might have not been bad either. Oh, you know what? I should start going for relic chests to try to find Ring of Reinforcement, since I'm going to be a little bit more reliant on power armor for my global damage going forward, because I don't really think I have much else global damage. The Ethereal Armor Ring of Reinforcement combo would probably go a long way with maintaining my global damage and my survivability for that matter. God damn, I'm applying a lot of fire. All you can eat, please. Acceptable. Alright, let's do this. Show me what you got, video game. I'm expecting King Skulls. Oh! Oh! Woo, woo. Nice. Totems, man, they'll sneak up on you. This is looking like a shit ton of fire skulls. Okay. Played this game before. Fortunately, they just kind of can't hit me anymore, so the game is different. Oh, I did something cool there. You know, something interesting has just dawned on me, which is that I have not needed to reload this entire time. So now I'm starting to wonder if I actually do need the all-you-can-eat. The targeting shots with dice shot might actually be going a very long way into keeping my ammo up. So we'll see what this gives me. I'll probably be prioritizing targeting shot for this. You know, Big Mag actually sounds kind of tempting for that same reason. I can kind of tighten my spread a little bit better and just be able to proc it better, as well as bubble shot, I guess. Because my AoE is coming from the piercing wave, so like my weapon at this point is a single target thing to apply bubble shot. I like that logic. I guess this is kind of how I like think about build crafting in general. That's tempting because I've done it before and it's funny. But not for this build. I think I'm settling into what I've got going on here. Oh, hey, Shockwave, you asshole. I think Link Shot could actually be really good too. That's tempting, but I don't want to steal the show from... Yo, I'll steal the show for that. Hell yeah, let's do this. This is gonna be so funny. Oh yeah, look how big it is. Especially with the Aura shot. This is funny. Yeah, when I think about build crafting in general, there's two types of combat interactions in this game. In a very, very, very general sense. There's obviously all sorts of combat interactions, that's the fun of the game, but if you were to like look at it at a very high level, there are situations where there's a lot of enemies, and there are situations when there are very few, very threatening enemies, right? Like it's cool. It's the Horde Islands or the Standard Islands where there's just like there's just a lot of enemies versus the Elite Islands or islands where it's like 6 sniper grabs and you're running for your life because they're all killing you. In a nutshell, you need AoE to deal with the broader islands, and you need single target in order to deal with the harder islands and the elites. That's just sort of build crafting 101 in this game. And that's where your weapon comes into play. What is your weapon good at? And that's why I like very often always talk about when you start the run and you start getting items. You know, I still haven't found like a fire shot or a lightning shot, so I'll just do that. Accelerating shot could be really funny. When you start the run and you get items and you start thinking about like, okay, what am I building? What do I want to build, and how does that compare to what I'm getting, right? The first thing you should think about is what is your weapon good at? I like that. I like this. Well, ooh, Jesus. Whoa, look how they're like rocketing. What the hell? The natural bounce of the cluster launcher is having a weird interaction with the accelerating, and it's causing them to like really shoot off in the distance. That's funny, but I don't think I can play around it. What's your weapon good at? First part of that question, oh, sure. I think it's time for some attack speed, actually. First part of that question is going to be, is your weapon just naturally good at single target, or versus AoE, versus somewhere in the middle? Obvious things. Rocket launcher is really good at AoE. It has a lot of splash damage, and its attacks hit really heavily, but it has really slow attack speed, so it has really great AoE capabilities, and not so great single target capabilities. And then there's laser cannons. Very straightforwarding attack. Damn it, seriously, too? It's in a direct line. You have 2 guns, so you're shooting twice in that direct line. But there's like literally no AoE potential without like heavy investment into some sort of mod that gives that to you, right? Very single target, not much AoE target. I'm good on targeting shot, and I'm realizing that I don't need the all-you-can-eat, so skill chests are probably out. Could do health chest for more health is power, could do luck for more checklist value, and formation mods. I'd probably be looking for an arc shot. That's pretty much the only one. Or a split shot, actually. Okay, yeah, okay. Split shot would be good. Yeah, so that's the first thing I think about. Is this weapon better at single target or AoE? And then, is this weapon better at on fire proccing or on hit proccing? I think that's important because at a very high level, any like item in the game can be broken down to being on fire or on hit. So when I think about on fire mods, I think or on fire weapons, I think about weapons that have really high attack speed out of the gate. Minigun, obvious choice. Laser cannons, obvious choice. And then for on hit, I think about weapons that can that shoot multiple projectiles that can hit one target multiple times. Okay, well, if you insist. So dual shotguns, great on hit option. Crossbow, great on hit option. Notably, I would say that like laser cannons is a fine on hit choice, but it's like notably harder to hit one enemy multiple times with like a relatively tighter aiming, right? But it shoots really fast, so okay on hit option, great on fire option. Dual shotguns, great on hit option, not so great on fire option. They kind of like go hand in hand, and then there are middle grounds where something can kind of do both. Blade launcher is probably a fair option. It does well in on hit because it can hit multiple times with one shot, but it also does fine with on fire because its attack speed is like decent. There's like middle grounds here and there. I really want a supercharged. I would also take a stamina and probably a rapid fire. That's an aerial shot, and I unlocked a slot. Well, everything that could have gone wrong there did. So I think about like what's the best kind of mod for this weapon, and with those two like aspects combined, that's how I'm going to generally be leaning towards my build, or towards for my build, because I want to play to the weapon's strengths rather than trying to make up for its weaknesses. That's actually the more ultimate conclusion that I'm trying to get towards here. When it comes to build crafting, it is good to play towards your weapon strengths. I know that's like, you say it out loud, it sounds obvious, but sometimes it is... Yeah, alright, whatever. Sometimes it does kind of feel like you need to, like if you're playing auto rifle, for example, which is like, or burst pistol is a good thing too, good example. Sometimes it's going to feel like, man, my AoE sucks, and so I need to make up for that by going for AoE mods and perks. But like, you're basically just making your AoE go from shitty to serviceable when you could be making your like single target go from serviceable to great and just do better that way. So I tend to just focus on what the weapon is good at, but it is still important to keep in mind that you do need some sort of like way to cover for your weaknesses, which is where like the elegance of build crafting comes in. It's easy to like decide where your strengths are and how to play into them. It's quite a bit more nuanced to decide how do you do that while simultaneously making sure that you can still kill groups of enemies, right? Yeah, I don't really remember how I got on this tangent, but I think Cluster Launcher is an interesting weapon for that debate because it doesn't really excel at either, but it also can be serviceable for either. Like it's the multi-hit nature of the weapon does great for single target and on-hit mods. I really want a split shot, honestly. And its base attack speed is like, it's not bad, it's workable. And its base proc rate is like not bad, it's workable. What the fuck? So yeah, I mean I can kind of do either. I think for some reason I always tend to lean towards like very heavy elemental builds for the cluster launcher. I don't know why. I definitely don't need X-Shot anymore, right? Yeah. I guess I'll just get more streamer loot. I have money coming out of the ass, so I can buy whatever I want. Honestly, the rent's like generally locked in, right? There's no way I can really lose. So there's probably no reason to really think too much about my build crafting decisions. Oh, I probably don't need more lightning shots either, huh? Yeah, I forgot dice shot affects that too. Build actually worked out really well. Probably because I randomized a dice shot on like island 6 or 4 or 5 or whatever. That might have something to do with it. It is very possible that was a main contributor to the success of the run. Hey, look, an arc shot. That's awesome. Okay, but here's the thing. Should I just like buy this beam shot and then throw like 20 enhancements on it, or should I just throw the 20 enhancements on my bubble shot instead? Do I do the same thing with the Pearson Wave? Because that really seemed to work out. Like I got a lot of really good stuff there. Oh man, did I get a scatter shot? Maybe those are the targeting shots? I have no idea what's happening in this run anymore. It's clearly lost all hinges. It has become unhinged. Hey, well, just kidding. Now it's become unhinged. Okay, but I actually did that before, and I'm pretty sure it was with a cluster launcher run too. And it was right before the last boss, and it was probably the most like busted ass cluster launcher run I've ever had. And I randomized it to be like the shittiest build ever, and the boss took like 10 minutes to kill. I did almost die. So wait, let's go. So I don't really want to do it again. That's the point I'm trying to get at here. I'm gonna just take this bad boy right to the end. I'm not gonna ramble anymore about things like the video game or how to play the video game or how I feel about the video game. We're just gonna play it, I guess. I'm gonna play the video. Seems like an odd direction for me to take this, but that's where we're going. I have debated turning on some different music, because I think it would be fun to listen to different music. I kind of just zone out the background music now. I guess there would be an argument to just turn it off in general, but I feel like that's blasphemous in some fashion, and I would feel better about performing such a blasphemy if I had music to replace it with. However, I don't really know if people would like that. When you start playing your own music, you start getting into like, you either like it and you're gonna watch the video and like it, or you don't like it and you're not gonna watch the video because you don't like it, and suddenly it's like, well, holy god, I've made some sort of error. Oh, it's the amount of stacks that I'm applying, I'm assuming. Probably a lot, and the game's probably struggling to keep up with the amount of fire that I'm applying. Why am I getting ice stuff? Oh. If I did turn on my own music, it would probably be metal. Is the real shtick here. Hello. And I think metal is where it gets into that whole you either like it or you don't space. So I guess we're just gonna stick with good old Noise Storm. Seems to have done well for himself. Got here, another tripling? Well. Yeah, why not? Why not? It is possible that I start up the randomized runs again after I'm done going down the circuit of weapons. Just because I don't know what else to play, and I don't know, randomized runs are fun. I do kind of want to, like, make a new wheel. I kind of want to make a wheel in, like, Blender or something. I think that could be fun. I should not have taken that. I already have full paint shop. Because I have double, what's it called? Oh, this thing, die shot. Yep, that thing. More money shot? Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, it'd be fun to make like a big ass wheel and have this cool like animation play at the start of every video, right? Who doesn't love a good wheel? I don't really see. I do know that Noiseworm wants to put in a like randomizer mode into the game itself, but I don't know when that's gonna come around. You know, development time takes time. Cluster launcher, piercing wave, 100%. No, that looks cool. Good old piercing wave. Who doesn't like piercing wave? Thanks for watching.